Hey, Kansas City, I'm McGraw Millhaven. Do you have trouble sleeping? He is one of the foremost experts on sleep, and he'll take your questions coming up at 8 o'clock only at 95.7 FM.
So today in Kansas City, it's actually happening later this morning at the National World War I Museum and Memorial. There's a 17,000-pound steel beam from the original World Trade Center that is traveling 10,000 miles around the country, hitting dozens of states as we embark on the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. And Stephen Siller Jr. is here. He's the son of fallen FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller and the manager of the Tunnel to Towers in Line of Duty program. He's been traveling the country in the Steel Across America tour that is in Kansas City this morning. It is open to the public at the National World War I Museum and Memorial coming up later this morning, 11 o'clock. So head on down there today. It's going to be amazing. Stephen, you've been traveling the country as we sit here on the eve of the 25th anniversary of these attacks. What are you learning 25 years later? I know that you were not even born, as I believe, when this happened. So what are you learning as you travel the country here?
I was 9 months old on September 11th, so I grew up involved with the foundation, and what I've learned doing the work for the past 25 years and traveling the country is, everybody was affected by September 11th. It was so much bigger than New York City and D.C. and Shanksville. You actually have a personal connection to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my late uncle was one of the founders of what was actually your father's best friend.
Yes. So and I heard this before I came on, and I wasn't even sure if you were aware. So your uncle is the one who said to my uncle, you should do a run following my dad's footsteps.
Correct.
25 years ago in New York City, your uncle had a major impact on the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. We might not be here today without him. And here we are in Kansas, doing media, and I run into you. It's such a small world, and it's so incredible.
It is. So you're going to be in Kansas City today. You've been doing this tour around the country, and you mentioned every part of this country has some kind of impact in the wake of that tragedy nearly 25 years ago now. As you think about, where we're at today, where we go from here, the legacy of the Tunnel to Towers organization, how does that continue to grow and change 25 years later?
It hasn't changed much. This foundation was started because of men and women who showed unbelievable courage and bravery and sacrificed their lives so that others may live. And this foundation is carried forward every day by men and women like that. And we're going to do everything we can to stand by their families under any circumstances.
What about the thing as you come to Kansas City today, Stephen, that you're most excited about? You got any barbecue joints lined up yet, or what do you have planned for today?
So I do love barbecue. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm really excited to just get out there and experience some Kansas City, real Kansas City people coming out to this event, spending some time with them, sharing our story, sharing the story of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation and the work we do.
With the steel beam, the 17,000-pound steel beam that people will see on display today at the World War I Museum and Memorial, what is something about it that, okay, people think to themselves, well, it's this massive steel beam, it's touring the country as we get set for this 25th anniversary, and it might not maybe sound on paper like the thing you've got to see, but what ends up happening as you've gone around the country that really connects with people and brings back either emotion, reminders? What ends up happening when people come out to these events?
Well, that steel once held up floors in a building. It once held up walls, and it holds the memory of September 11th. My father's one of about 1,000 men whose bodies were never recovered. Who he is ingrained in that steel. That steel is from the South Tower. The South Tower is where my father lost his life. For us to travel the country, you put your hand on that steel and you can feel the gravity of that day. It's overwhelming. We wanted to give everybody that opportunity.
Yeah, get out there this morning. Head on over to the National World War I Museum and Memorial. It's part of the Steel Across America tour. What was the most recent city you were in, Stephen?
So we were we had Mount Rushmore, which was amazing.
That's great. That's awesome. And do you know, I don't want to put you on the spot, do you know where you're going next after Kansas City?
So our next spot is going to be, we will be in St. Louis actually for the MLB game, I believe, on the 8th. And then we go to Chicago on the 12th.
Okay, very good. So Kansas City today, it's your opportunity. Get down there. Go check it out. Stephen, it is great to have you on the show. If you need any barbecue recommendations, just ask John and Mark, my producers here, when we're off the line.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was really great to speak with you, and I really could not believe that you were Billy's nephew. That was truly powerful for me.
Yeah, you bet, man. We'll be in touch, Stephen. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Well, you certainly see all of their commercials on Fox News for Tunnel to Towers, and I got this media pitch yesterday saying, hey, this steel beam from the World Trade Center is going to be at the World War I Museum today. And then I saw that the guest they were offering up was Steven Siller Jr., and his father is the one who was the reason that Tunnel to Towers is even a thing. And it was my uncle, who was good friends with Steven, who found out about the attack on September 11th, ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel in 60 pounds of firefighter gear to get to the towers, because the cars, you couldn't get a car back into Manhattan after the attacks took place. So he took 60 pounds of firefighter gear, he ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, and he ran into the World Trade Center, and his body was never recovered. So my uncle was his best friend, and he starts this 5K run, and that was the impetus of what became this obviously massive organization tied to the September 11th attacks. So when I saw that he was going to be here and what's happening today in Kansas City, it felt like a good chance to get him on the show and talk about that, which, can you believe it, next month is 25 years since those attacks.